it up for Tegan.
Welcome to the Tegan Show. This episode is all about Nollywood films. For those of you that do not know what Nollywood means, that is Nigerian films. So you have Hollywood, US global films, you have Bollywood, Indian films, global as well, and you have Nollywood, which is Nigerian films. Now, the beauty of storytelling in today's world is that stories are so unique, stories are so diverse, stories are so inclusive, but everybody can find a character that they resonate with. And that is the beauty of Nollywood films in today's age. Nollywood has come a long way from the 90s, the 2000s, to now. There's been an evolution of Nollywood films. And now, more than ever, you can find fictional stories, you can find non-fiction stories as well, but you can find stories about cultures you do not have an idea of and be drawn into the conversation all through the power of storytelling. Now, what is your story and what stories do you love? Speaking about Nollywood films, the giants of big movie industries or big movie producers or production companies, so many words, like Sony, Netflix, Amazon, creates a platform and an avenue for so many stories. Now we have the likes of Ebony Life Media, Film One, Griot Studios, name it. These stories that they're producing, fantastic by all means. But the question is, can we see more indie films? That is, films that do not have big production companies out there on these platforms? Not so sure about that, because it seems like the same group of people produce the same films over and over and over again. That's great for quality and for standards, but also that means that some groups and some people may not have the chance to actually produce mind-boggling, amazing stories, whether it is entertainment or information. So we need to find a way to bring everybody together, regardless of how big they are or how much money that they're making. Now, when it comes to movies, there's this push by the Oscars for, international feature films. That is, films that are primarily in a local dialect, for the most part, and films that can really talk about the culture. I know there's been an issue with Lionheart. That was the movie directed by Genevieve Nnaji, and then there's also been an issue with Anikulapo as well. These are two great films been put out there, but these films did not really get the thumbs up by the Nigerian committee, which submits an award, which submits a nomination to the Oscars. So what is Nigerian dialect, and is Nigerian dialect acceptable on the global stage? Or do we find a way to have amazing movies in cultural languages that can speak to the masses, but also doesn't really lose their feel of tradition? I think there's so many conversations we need to have as to what Pidgin can look like for movie filmmaking, but also what we can do to have all the great talents, all the great resources be recognized on a global stage. So whether you're watching the next Nollywood film on Netflix, in the theater, or in the comfort of your home, there's so much to think about. But regardless, join the conversation, learn a culture, learn about the beauty and the diversity of global storytelling, because stories are out there that matter, stories are out there to entertain you, and stories are out there for your pleasure. Representation matters. We need more indie films from new companies, giving us fresh perspective, fresh actors, actresses, you name it. When global companies want to tell stories by Africans and for Africans, please use our actresses and actors as well. the party doesn't stop. We have a fantastic, amazing, extraordinary show for you. Jide Awobona, he's here to talk about making movies for Yoruba audiences, Nigerian audiences, global audiences, you name it. Plus, legendary actor, and I mean legendary actor, Chinedu Ikedieze is here to weigh in on the conversation about Nollywood. DJ, let's go. Be right back.
Coming up next, we have Chinedu Ikedieze.
Today is very legendary. We have a Nollywood icon in the building. For the very first time, this guest has been acting for more than 2 decades and over 150 films and counting. Please, for the very first time, give it up for Chinedu Ikedieze here. Mr. Chinedu,
Yep.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So good to have you on.
Yeah.
You are legendary.
Yeah, if you say so, I appreciate.
How does it feel? More than 2 decades, 150 plus films and counting. How does it feel?
Tegan, it feels so good. It feels so, good, so great, to still be very relevant, be enjoying your career that has spanned over 2 decades, like you said. So it feels so good and wonderful.
Everyone here is like super excited for you to be here, but I want to know, when people see you like in everyday life, how do they react to seeing you? I'm sure like they are shocked.
The same reaction I had when I came in. Yeah, people always shocked, People like,
They can't keep up.
yeah, me too. I do like that. Like when I meet any Hollywood celebrity.
Okay.
Even like, I remember when I was new in the industry. First time I met Liz Benson. I didn't know when I
found out.
when I uttered her name.
Yeah.
I saw her, I was starstruck. I said, Lizzie, I didn't know when that jumped out from my mouth. So it's like that. I think I get the same feeling, and I experience same almost on a daily basis.
You've been acting for as long as we know it, and every single actor and actress can probably credit their success at some point to the path that you trailblaze. I'm curious to know, when you think of Nollywood then and now, what has changed?
I think a lot has changed. Yeah, in terms of the quality of movies that are being churned out now. And like I said, quality of movies that are being churned out now, compared to what we had before. Of course, before we were shooting on Betacam, and now we were shooting on supersonic, cameras and the equipment, Things have changed a lot has changed technically. Movies are now on Netflix. Can comfortably watch our movies. Our movies are not just on Netflix; they are competing with foreign movies. Because I tell people, if a movie here can gross over 600 million in naira, if we are using dollars, or if our economy is better, you understand? The economy is better. That of course, when the economy is better, it affects the exchange rate. So imagine we are Indians. Of course, if any movie grows over 600 Indian, is it rupee? What did they use?
Rupee,
So imagine how much it is. You understand? So, but we are looking at it because it grows over 600 million naira. You understand? People will be like, And 600 million naira is less than maybe $800,000. But
But
I
so
am
much.
looking at the numbers. You understand the acceptability. So when I, put one and two things together, I proudly tell people that we've come a long way and we're much better now. Yeah.
I have so many questions to ask you. I feel like I just need to ask you all my questions
Ask.
in like the whole entire
Don't
day.
worry.
But I'm a firm believer in the fact that the best way to better your craft is to be mentored by somebody who inspires you. You've been doing this for a long time. How many times do actors or actresses come to you and say, Mr. Chinedu, please, I want to learn from you?
Yeah, a lot of them, especially the newer ones, the ones that are new in the industry. They write to me sometimes, requesting me to mentor them, but you can't mentor everybody, of course, because you have to, no matter how much you want to, you look at your time, and know how much well will you be able to manage the two, working, taking the time out to even, create one for someone. So, but what I do, I talk to them, tell them when they have any problem, they should just ask me those questions, and I direct them, put them in the better position so they can excel as well.
Part of having a great body of work is that you get to choose projects to work on and projects not to work on. Now, when it comes to somebody saying, this is the legend himself, the man, the myth, the legend, and I want him to be my project, what goes through your mind as to, I'll take this project, or you know what, nah?
No, I go through the script.
Okay.
It's very important. I go through your script. If I like it, if I like the plotting, if it is good, then I can now ask you about who is directing, who is producing. So the moment you get those things right, before I discuss fee, yeah, fee is no, I can decide to start shooting.
Yeah.
Maybe collect my fee 2 days
Yeah.
before I finish. So it's not a yardstick. I don't put it first. I look at the technicality. What am I coming to do? What will I take away from this movie? And it's not just coming to do it. Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. The legend himself is here, and we have more talk, and more talk, and more talk. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
On Tegan, we're talking about what you join the conversation today. Everyone seems to be directing, producing, doing something on Netflix, Amazon Prime. I'm curious to know, I'm sure you are obviously an investor, a businessman. Is there a project you can tease us about that's in the works, or give us some crumbles?
Yeah. I have one. Something happened. I didn't want to just be in a hurry to start making personal movies.
Yeah.
Because I have my personal reasons, but I have some things in the pipeline. Yeah. I have one that I'm going to do. I have an American tour, Canadian tour. That will take me for almost 1 month.
Nice.
Yeah. So when I come off, on that trip, I'm going to be doing a movie. Then I think I'll be doing like 2 movies. One co-produced, then another one co-produced too. You understand? Yeah. So yeah. And when I come back, I have a production I'm going to do. That one will be specifically for Amazon Prime.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so earlier on during the show, I had mentioned the need for representation in storytelling and in filmmaking. I've watched Woman King with Viola Davis, fantastic movie,
Yeah.
told the story about the Oyo people. But I had an issue with just one thing. Only 2 Nigerian actors were in the cast. When it comes to these sort of like global filmmaking choices, as to who to cast or who not to cast? Why is there a need for more representation by Nigerians in major productions, be it Sony, be it, Netflix? Why is there a need for these stories to have more Nigerians casted? Because it was a huge grossing movie.
Tegan, I have to be honest. I think there's something we're not doing. Having a good agent. If you have a good agent, trust me, of course you get these roles. I remember when I was in the Film Academy.
For your training,
Yeah, for my training. So when I was about to, round up, one of my lecturers, or one or two, they were like, "Why don't you stay back in New York, get you an agent? Get you an agent."
Yeah.
So, but here, maybe one or two people have, the agents. You understand? So, like, we don't pay much attention to it. If you don't have an agent, nobody will know, no matter how much of your reels you want to send out there. So when you have a good agent, you'll be able to get that kind of job for you. Because what these guys do, they have a story about Nigeria.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, how many times have they come here to shoot? They would rather go to Ghana and shoot Nigerian story. So the same thing applies to, them not wanting. It's not as if they don't want to use us.
Yeah.
But
visibility.
they have, the job is theirs.
Yeah.
So what they do is this. Of course, they know who the first maybe 5 or 10 major cast. Then the other remaining ones, if you have a good agent that can cue in, tell them, okay, I have this character, this person that can, of course, interpret this character very effectively. Then they call you. Wow. But if you don't have a good agent, nobody, if you don't tell people this is where I am, nobody will know where you are. You understand? So when they don't, they use the people available to them. They can even call it South Africa. Yeah, true. And another thing, they look at what is it called? The
landscape? I don't know. Huh? Like the landscape of the industry?
No. They look at you, the actor. What is your mileage?
Oh, okay.
As an actor, you understand? So they go through all those things and know, okay, if we're using this person, how much influence does this particular cast or character, have outside
not just
Nigeria,
country,
not just Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand? So those things are, I think, some of the factors they consider. Wow. Yeah, because I asked this same question to one of my friends. He's a Hollywood actor, and they said, you need to get an international agent. Wow. So I think it's not as if we have great actors, we have great actors here, but that's a problem.
It's not just about, from what you are saying, yes, we have these major production deals, which are great and fantastic, but we still need individual representation as well. Throughout, this show, I'm super, intentional when it comes to being able to push amid adversity. I don't want to say height is an adversity, but so many people would look at you and say, oh, he's of this height or that height. You see your height as being a blessing. And before we go on the break, I'm curious to know, when it comes to the person watching that may say, you know what, I want to be an actor like him, or I want to start out that career in maybe music, but because of this, I'm afraid. Because of that, I'm afraid. What is your advice to them?
If we begin to look at the oddities, first, of course, that means you're not sure, you're not ready for that. You understand? Because I always tell people, look, before you come in as an actor, you want to be part of this, you must have the flair, have that passion. If it's not there, how can you have a passion for something and you're thinking about the negative side of it? No. You don't need to think of anything, that will deter you from achieving your aim. No. You go. Focus. The industry is a moving train. You join and move with the speed. Yeah. You understand? And be ready to take whatever challenges that come your way. So there's nothing like, I am small, I am too tall, I am too fat.
Focus.
An actor can be anybody. Even a 9 months baby. A woman, a pregnant woman, as a pregnant woman that's duly ready for birth can also be. a new, as in a 1 second old baby can
Really?
also be an actor.
And get a good check too.
Of course. So anybody can be an actor. So no matter your size, no matter your looks, no matter your body structure, you can be an actor.
Also love the fact that your mom was a major influence in your life, encouraging you and pushing you forward and saying, go, go, go. We have more fun with the legendary Mr. Chinedu Ikedieze. He's here. Don't go anywhere. We're back with the man, not the myth, of course, and the legend, Mr. Chinedu Ikedieze. We know you for being super fun, and I cannot leave you here without giving us a good vibe, so we need to play a game.
Okay.
A game of, I think, truth or dare. Let's see. So the rules of the game are the following. 6 questions, you have to at least answer 4. If you want to skip on a question, you're going to give us a free social media shout out. See? Raising your platform for publicity. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And this is good. This is very, very much edgy. Okay?
Right.
Let's see. Question number 1. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Act out a scene from the Johnsons.
Sorry? Please come. Do I tell him not to give me that money? So please, I need 30,000. 30,000 if you, what do you want to do with 30,000? Give me money now. Must you know the reason I'm asking for this?
Okay. These questions, oh my god. Question number 2. Supposing you did not have Arsenal and you had to pick between Man U and Chelsea, which team would it be?
Supposing I'm not an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal, yes. And there's Man U and Chelsea.
I'll pick Chelsea.
Oh, why?
I like the fact that Chelsea plays black, players.
Okay.
They play African players more than Man United. So I'm black, proud African. So
Great. Ooh, now this will get you in some controversy. Mention that colleague of yours you would not work with anymore if given the chance. Whoa.
No colleague of mine.
Really?
Yeah, I will work with everybody.
I could tell you're being honest because you looked me in the eye and were like, no colleague of mine. When somebody's lying, you can tell that they're lying. Okay. Let's see. Question number 4. Mention 4 things that the public does not know about you.
Okay. My marital life. They know what they know the one they know.
You know who you're married to, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You try to check, you couldn't find anything.
No. Keep my family away from
Okay.
what I do.
Okay.
Yeah. The businesses I do, I'm not that type that goes about telling people. No. I call myself a serial investor, and that's where
Very smart.
I put my money where it maximizes profit. Yeah. 3. I'm totally different from who people see on TV. Yeah. The real me is Chinedu Ikedieze, and what they see on TV is my character. Yeah. My TV character.
Yeah.
4. A lot of people don't know that I'm an ardent member of Tegan International. Yes. Okay. I'm a career entity. Yeah. Walk with Jare.
This is plain foul. Wow. Kill 1, steal from 1, block 1. Osita Iheme, Mr. Ibu, Nkem Uwo.
Wait. You say kill 1?
Steal from 1,
Steal from 1?
block 1.
Block 1.
Osita Iheme, Mr. Ibu, Nkem Uwo.
I steal from Kemo.
Okay.
I will not block anyone, and I will not kill anyone.
You're too politically correct. Well, okay. Then the last question is, who was the last person to call you?
My wife.
Oh, okay. Everyone, it's been an amazing time with the man, not the myth, because he's here on Tegan, and the legend. Clap it up for Mr. Chinedu. It's Tegan. We have a fantastic, amazing, extraordinary show for you. Who is the king or queen of Afro?
Hi, my name is Blessing Obasi. Keep watching the Tegan show.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Do we need hope? Or do we need hope and actually get the job done? One place, one show, more fun, more dance, more laughs. It only happens on Please welcome Jide Awobona.
Thank you so much, darling.
Jide, it's good to have you on the show.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
So we're talking about Nollywood in general this episode, and you are an actor. What does acting mean to you?
Well, to me, acting is life. Acting is mirroring the world to society. Acting is everything. Acting is what we're doing right now.
Okay. It's a day-to-day thing.
Yes.
So now, lots of Nollywood actors may either do English films or, Yoruba films, Hausa films, Igbo films. You do it all. And I'm curious to know, why are you so invested in Yoruba films equally as English films?
Well, for me, once you're an actor, regardless of the language, you're an actor. If I'm giving a French script right now, all I need is a tutor or a language teacher or trainer to put me through. What is needed from me is just my act and interpretation of the role, regardless of the language. So, but then there's a difference when you're delivering a particular act or acting in a film where you have to speak in your mother tongue. There's this, it comes from within. It's not like you're struggling or English is not my language, it's a borrowed language, it's a legal franca, but then I have my mother tongue, which is the Yoruba. So there's a way I interpret my Yoruba movies than the English movies or any other language. But that doesn't mean when I get the other language, I will still do my best. So that's it.
So with Yoruba storytelling and with Yoruba acting, there's a cultural element to it. Do you feel that you have to sort of sometimes tame that down a bit to market the film to audiences beyond Nigeria?
Well, it depends on the story, it depends on the script, and it depends on the message it carries. You understand? Like if you've been following the trends of Nollywood, you would see that most of the films we're even showing up now on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other bigger platforms, there's an infusion of language. Yoruba, okay, I'm not promoting anything right now, but like the Shanty Town, I was so impressed with Chinedu and Incest, the Calabar, the Akwa Ibom language. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is not just about the Yoruba language or the Igbo. This is about the other culture we're not even talking about, the Calabar. Very beautiful language, and it was well used in this film, Shantytown. Even Chidimokeme, the way he was delivering the Yoruba lines and all that. Are you Yoruba guy? You understand? The Igbo and everything. So, for me, and generally, when you're making a film for a global market, what you're selling to them is your culture, and your language is part of your culture. So, what English do I want to speak to a British or an American that they've not heard before? So what you're selling to them is your culture, and language is part of it. Your food, your clothing, everything, the atmosphere, the environment, that's what you're selling to the world.
So, okay, you were part of this series called It's a Super
Story. Man, you must have been watching me. That's a project of almost 2 decades now.
But it changed the entire conversation. It changed the generation and the country. Do you think we can see more series like that can literally have everyone on their feet watching?
Well, it's not just about the series or the movies. Everything has changed generally. We're now in the era of social media where everybody goes about with their phone and stuff. So Now, for some people to even sit down and watch a feature-length movie is a whole lot of work. You understand? They just want to watch a skit and move on. But now it's changing. We're now getting back to where you have to sit down and see this movie. But the thing is, people want to be sure what they're investing their time on. Okay, is it worth it? Do I want to go to the cinema and see that movie? So you have to do something great, because if you mess it up, they're not going back there to see it. You understand? So we're gradually coming back there.
Okay, so now from Super Story, Jennifer's Diary as well. You know, Funke Akindele is amazing by all means, and she's a big time producer.
Yes, she is.
How did that come about? That whole entire involvement in Jennifer's Diary.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Most times when I get this question, like, oh, was it Jennifer's Diary, the prostitution line and stuff? Fine, I say, yeah, there's no how I'm going to talk about my career without me mentioning Jennifer's Diary by Funke Akindele. But then, my professionalism, my career actually started with Super Story while I didn't gas production. You understand? I'm glad you guys even mentioned it. I was surprised. You know, my real fans actually know me from where I started, you know, where I played the role of Michael in that series, Last Honor, Super Story then, about 2 decades ago. You understand? But when they say, okay, what was that project that actually, because there was a time I went to South Africa, I was amazed. They were not calling me Michael of Super Story. They were calling me Sam of Jennifer.
The character.
I went to Ghana. I went to the UK. I went everywhere. You know, it was a global project. It was everywhere. You understand? So that was when I knew that, wow, Funke Akindele did something really great in my career. You understand? So I can't take that for granted. So it was a plus for my career, and I really appreciate having me on board to play the role of Sam. Nigerian
movies, you know, and international, you know, awareness and awards. We've seen with Lionheart, whereby there was a submission made, and we were told that it wasn't fully in Yoruba or in Igbo. There was pidgin involved. Do you think we can see Yoruba films, Igbo films, Hausa films win international awards for just being brilliant? Or what would it take to get there?
Okay, sorry to cut you. I don't want to believe that was the reason, because Anikulako was submitted as well, and it was rejected too. So, and it was 100% Yoruba. So I don't think language was the reason. Maybe there are other factors they're looking out for that we're not in the film. So he never can tell. We're not part of the panel. So I'm sure they will not still tell you the reason. But I feel there's so many other factors they're looking out for that are not there yet. You understand? We'll get there. We're already getting there. We'll get there.
I always have this question with films in general, especially Nigerian films. Quality versus quantity. Can you have quality and a lot of releases in 1 year? How do you as an actor, you know, come to terms with that? Do you jump on 20 projects in a year, or say, you know what, 3 projects, I'm all good?
Well, to start with, it's about survival. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes.
Okay.
If I'm on a project that is giving me a lot of money, you know, there are projects and there are projects. You understand? If I find myself on a project that I have to spend a year, which I've done before, I was on a project, a series, Hush, it was a year. But there are times that it was a year contract, but then there are days you'll be offset, there are days you'll be busy. You can quickly go to other stuff. But when they call you, you have to be on set calls and you have to make yourself available. You understand? But then there's some situations where you find yourself signing a contract that you dare not do any other thing. If I'm smiling hugely to the bank and he actually works, there's a lot of value, what am I looking for? I'll stay. I'll do it. You understand? So, but then if you have to do 20 jobs to make ends meet, to smile to the bank, to survive, you have to do it.
It's the business of entertainment.
Thank you.
So, Jide, what's up next for you? What's next?
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, really, I'm a creative person. I'm an actor. I'm also an entrepreneur. I do my small business by the side. And I make bags, gummy bags. So that's the thing I'm doing right now. But then majorly I'm an actor. And I just want to be on big projects. When I say big projects, I mean big projects. And also to come up with something as a filmmaker now, also to come up with a big project that is way bigger than the previous one I did, Halapede. So don't worry, you guys will get to hear more about it. So
don't be a stranger. One more thing I have to ask you. Okay, so my Yoruba is not the best.
It's fine.
But I've never been in a Nollywood film. But let's say this was a scene and I had to act something. Give me one word or one line to say.
Just give you a line.
Oh, you had something to say.
What language?
Yoruba.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I won't give you a line. I would just give you a scenario.
Okay.
I just want you to
What's
put
the
it
scenario?
into action. Okay. Now, if you caught me in bed with your wife, what would be your reaction?
We'll be right back. On the next Tegan, we have Blessing CEO and Doing David. All this and more only happens on Tegan.
Hello guys, my name is Chinedu Ikedieze, Aki or FW Johnson. I am live here on Tegan Talk Show. Follow them now across all social media platforms at Tegan Talk Show. Follow now, just click that button. Pop! Click that follow button. Pop! Yes, follow them and know what is happening within and outside Nollywood. Want to know everything about Chinedu Ikedieze? Follow at Tegan Talk Show.
Face off. Tegan versus Tela Michael, the human calculator. Is he a myth or is he real? Come on out, Tela Michael.
The rules of the game are simple. I'll call out the questions. If you have the answer, you pick up the box and you answer as fast as possible. For question 1, 12,000 times 5 times 5 divided by 5.
6,000.
Wow, that's impressive. 46 times 6 divided by 2 times 5.
690.
50 times 200 plus 15.
11,500.
Correct. 250 times 70 divided by 50.
350.
Correct. 2,000 times 50 plus 200.
100,200.
Wrong.
10,200.
2,000 times 50 plus 200.
100,200.
2,050.
2,050.
No, 2,000 times 50
Yes.
plus 200.
100,200.
Three times though. 3 times of an answer. 3 times. 3 times of an answer. Go. 3 times of an answer.
For the next question, 4,000 plus 2,000 times 7.
40,000. Cannot lose.
3,350 plus 900 plus 800.
5,050.
Correct. 5,000 divided by 2 times 6.
15,000.
Correct. 16,000 times 36 plus 2.
576,002.
Correct. 333 times 5 times 6.
9,900 and... Oh.
Whatever the answer is, whatever the answer is. Well, 9,990, and he won by loss in style. So that's that. Well, that human calculator. Well, even though he won and I lost in style, and we did tie, I must say. So, clap, well, not clap for me, clap for you. Some questions we did tie. You have a gift. When did you realize you had a gift?
Yeah, since I was very young.
How young?
Age 8. Yes.
Have you come across someone that's equally as talented as you, like just math and numbers?
Yes.
Do you both compete, or how does that happen? Or
Yeah, we compete, but probably maybe in a duel. Just to record. This is what we do most times.
either online or whenever we see. We try to add up numbers. Then probably when it gets to maybe 7 digits, we keep on adding those numbers.
So you know a lot of math and you're good in math. Have you ever made a mistake, let's say with money, due to math?
Okay, now the interesting part of it is that I only focus on numbers. So I dedicated my time to research on numbers. Just numbers, they are not even equations this time around. That means it's whenever I see numbers, I can tell if the numbers are composite or I think, okay, if the numbers are divisible, no matter how large the number is, I can quickly guess, okay, the nature of that number, the characteristics, or anything that has to do with that number. So it's something I've carved a niche for to focus on.
Before you go, how important has your education been to your talent?
Well, there's something that education does to us, and that's one thing I believe in. It's not going to give us jobs, but it's going to open our minds to possibilities of creating values. That's my own point of what education is.
Everyone, this is Tela Michael. Clap it up for him.
Listen, education and politics. You need to know more about them. Entertainment and these things.
I can't believe we're done. Time just went by so fast. A huge thank you to all my guests. Tela Michael, thank you for all the math wizardry you have. And a huge thank you to the Nollywood stars, Chinedu Ikedieze. It was a pleasure meeting you. And of course, Jide Awobona. The party doesn't stop. Of course, we are just having more and more fun. See you next time, only on Tegan. Let's go!
Back and front, I go hustle. Education and politics. You need to know more about them. Entertainment and these things. You need to know more about them. This year not my year. More I go make them. This year not my year. More I go make them. With the right information. More I go make them. Knowledge where they okay.